Hello, I'm Amanda Hawking, the author of The Complete Trylle Saga, which is what I've been talking about and celebrating for the past week or so. Kind of had a low energy first week, so I'm going on to a second week. I did the first part of the Ask Me Anything last week, and I'm still taking questions, so if you have any questions about The Complete Trylle Saga that I have not answered yet, or about any of these 9 books or the short stories or anything that's in this world, go ahead and ask below and I will answer it later on this week. One question I saw a lot when I was getting the Trylle Saga questions for last week is a lot of people were asking who would I pick for my Dreamcast if this were to be a movie or TV show. And I have done other videos before, but I know that when I posted my video on Instagram before, the sound quality wasn't very good. The only good part about it is that I had my puppy Swayze in it when she was small, but I can just like show you. See. Swayze is the cutest. She's huge now, but anyway, you probably know not to consider because you want to see puppy pictures, but if you are, boy, you were lucky. But so yeah, I thought I would redo the video, and one thing I'm going to say before I go into it is that the cast is so large of the 3 books that I really could not go into like all of the 3 books, the 9 books, so I really couldn't go into like every cast member, so I just took about like 5-6 from each book that I'm doing for this video. I'm also going to say that when I wrote these books over 10 years ago, so some of my casting choices, some of the people might be too old now, and I've tried to look for different people, but this was just too, because I already went through like a dream casting thing when I, back in the day, so I kind of have this idea in my head for some of them, even though they're too old, but they're actually the right age to play the characters now. They're just too old to play them then, but they're all the right age to play them in the last 3 books, if that makes sense. But yeah. So, for Wendy, I would love Olivia Thirlby. She was like the first person that I really talked about and envisioned for her, because I just really like her look. She's very beautiful, but she does have like an elf-like quality to her, and I think that, you know, works really good for, you know, a magical like troll being. For Finn, Tyler Posey. I think that Tyler Posey would make an excellent Finn. For Loki, I wanted Charlie Hunnam with like darker hair, and he'd have to have like fake contacts, but I think he would still be, you know, good. Now he's much too old to play like a young Loki, but he's good for contemporary Loki still, I think. For Tove Kroner, I would cast Emil Hirsch. I think that he would make a very good Tove. I really like, yeah, I think that he has that kind of, he could be that kind of, you could pull off Tove's kind of confident indifference very well. For Willa, I would love Blake Lively. I don't know, I just kind of, that's who I thought of, and so yeah, Blake Lively. For Laura, I really did envision like a young Angelica Houston, like from, you know, the Addams Family or Grifters, from like that kind of stage, so yeah, I would really love that. And for Oren, I did specifically write the character Oren from Michael Wincott. He is an actor, you'll probably remember him. He was like the villain in The Crow and Strange Days, Robin Hood, lots of stuff from the 90s, especially the early 90s. He was really good, and I just always loved him. He's got such a gravelly, cool voice.
I want all of you boys to be able to look me straight in the eye one more time and say, "Are we having fun or what?"
Yeah, I just always really enjoyed him, and I totally wrote the character of Oren specifically for him. So if it ever does become a movie or TV show, I still hope that he's able to do it, but if not, oh well, I guess. Now on to the Canon Chronicles part of the Trylle Saga. We'll do a few characters from there. We'll start with Bryn. For Bryn, it's really tricky for me. I kind of pictured her as a mixture of like Elizabeth Olsen and Ronda Rousey, because she's really athletic and strong and tough and buff, and I really want that to be like, you know, showcased. A lot of times I feel like they have like these, they'll have like badass female action stars, and they don't have a lot of muscle mass. They're very lean and stuff, but they don't have the muscle. And if you're supposed to be really tough and strong, you know, unless you have got superpowers, then I feel like you should have some buff. You know what I mean? So that's why. So I definitely want that for Bryn. For Ridley, I would pick Diego Boneta. I think that he is very foxy, and I think that he would do a good job as Ridley. For Constantine, I would pick Kit Harington. I think that he would be very good. He really does the mopey love streak very, very well, and I think that's a lot of Constantine's stuff. He's pretty mopey and moody. So I think that he could brood pretty well. And for Finn's sister and Bryn's best friend, Ember, I would love Jenna Ortega. I think that she would be perfect for it. I think this is a different casting. Originally, when I was writing it, I was thinking of Emily Browning, but I really like Jenna Ortega. I especially like that she's closer to, you know, the Ember's age, because Ember's supposed to be like 17, I think. For Bryn's parents, Runa, Charlize Theron, who is, yeah, that's exactly what I pictured, and for her dad, Ivor, Mark Ruffalo. And then on to the final chapter of the Trylle Saga, for the T Origins. The cast for that, I'll have for Ulla. So Ulla's tough for me because part of the thing is she's got asymmetry, and it's very difficult to find. Most actresses and models and stuff, they have symmetrical features. It's kind of like a thing, and it's also hard to search and be like, I want asymmetry. So I don't know exactly, like, if they did an open casting, if they were to do this, how they would cast it. If they would just, you know, not make it that noticeable, if they would do whatever. Because if they would do they could do prosthetics or CGI, or just cast someone who looks that way. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what would happen. So what I'm saying is, I would kind of pictured her as more like a plus size Chloe Grace Moretz with more, you know, asymmetry in her face. Again, for Pan, I had a hard time finding someone that I wanted exactly, because I think it's Inuit heritage is important, but it was hard for me to find actors where, like, to search for actors who have Inuit heritage, and so it's hard to, like, for me to cast the way that I would want to cast it if it were a movie or TV show. I did kind of picture him as looking like Max Minghella, kind of, so that's kind of the look I would go for if I got to cast it. For Ulla's friend Dagny, I would cast Ashley Cullingbull. I think that she's like a Miss America or something like that, but she's I really like her look, and I like, she has this kind of like severe beauty to her, and I love it, and that's how I pictured Dagny. Like, she can just like cut you down with a look kind of thing. For Eliana, I would cast Sienna Nicole Agudong. I think that she has that kind of nice little sparkling personality that I imagine for Eliana. For Jum Kruk, I would cast Willie Cartier. Yeah, I think that he has that kind of model swarthy look that I was going for for Jum. And for Sumi, I would cast Trace Lizette. I don't think she's done action movies before, and her character is very more action oriented, but I think that she could definitely pull it off. She's very fit and stuff, so I think that she could do it, you know. So that is my dream cast for the complete Trylle Saga. So let me know what you guys think. I know I didn't go through everyone, and I'm sure I hope I didn't miss too many of your favorites or anything like that, but it was just, there's a lot of characters, so I didn't want to have the video go on for like a year. So those are just like who I would dream, but honestly, I would just be really excited if it were to be a movie or a TV show, and I'd be excited about, you know, like almost anyone being in it. So yeah, this is just my dream. And as of right now, as I've said in other videos, there are not currently plans for there to be a movie or TV series. But like, I'm always hopeful that in the future, you know, there could be. I think that it's a really great series, and I think that you guys have been really supportive, and a lot of people would love to see it on the screen. So I still think there's a potential in the future. I just don't know when, where, how, any of that kind of stuff. But I'm still like optimistic about it. And again, because I've seen a lot of people who didn't realize there are 3 trilogies in the Trylle Saga. So I just wanted to go over that again real quick one time, because I've seen people talk about it. A lot of people only knew about the first 3 books, and then there's more people who knew, or there's some people who knew about the second, but then a lot of people have not heard that there's, you know, the last 3 books. But so yeah, there are 3 separate trilogies, but they've characters from the Trylle appear in all the books, and characters from the Canon Chronicles appear in books after that. So if you like Wendy and Loki and Finn and you want to know what they're up to, I definitely suggest reading the T Origins. I forgot the name of my own books. The Lost City, The Morning Flower, and The Ever After. The Ever After goes in really in depth into the Trylle world and explains a lot more things. So if you've enjoyed this world, if you want to know what's going on, if you have questions about like, how does the world get the way that it is, where is all these powers and stuff coming from, I really suggest checking out making sure you read all the books. And I do recommend reading them in order because you'll be spoiled for the books that come before you. I mean, they are kind of set up where you can read them, and if you haven't, like, if you jumped into The Lost City and you hadn't read any of the other books, like, I didn't want you to be super lost, but I still recommend reading them in order because they really do build on each other. And again, there's recurring characters, there's themes, there's stuff that it builds on. So yeah, it's still Trylle Saga week, and I've got some more stuff going on later in this week, and I think I'm going to do a giveaway. I was kind of hesitant to do it because I've been a little under the weather lately, as I've talked about, but I'm feeling better, so I think that I should be able to get that underway. But I'm also going to be doing the second part of the Ask Me Anything on Friday, so if you have questions, please ask. You can ask below, you can ask on another video, just, you know, I'm going to try to get as many questions as I can on Friday. As always, thank you guys for being so supportive. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I really enjoy making these videos, and I'm so happy to hear that so many of you are enjoying it also. And as always, stay safe, be kind, and happy reading. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe.